Welcome to I'm Studying Life, as we study an interview between Kevin O'Leary and Stephen Bartlett. What if I told you one scoop of ice cream changed Kevin O'Leary's entire life? This isn't just a recap. This is about the cold truths behind success, the blunt realities of entrepreneurship, and why freedom costs more than you think. Let's unpack the most powerful gems from this 2-hour conversation and bring them down to earth for real people like you. Kevin was fired on day one from an ice cream shop for refusing to scrape gum off the floor, and that moment shaped his life. There are two kinds of people, those who own the store and those who scrape the gum off the floor. This moment hits hard because it's about dignity. In real life, many of us are scraping metaphorical gum, doing jobs we hate just to survive. Kevin's takeaway wasn't be above dirty work. It was build something so you're never forced to kneel for someone else's approval. When asked, can anyone be an entrepreneur? Kevin says flat out, no. Only about 1 in 3 people are truly built for it. The rest are better off being employees. You will never be free. That's the debate. Do you want freedom or not? Kevin asks. Most people say they want to be entrepreneurs. Few can handle the chaos. If you crave stability, structure, and predictability, that's fine. Just don't lie to yourself about wanting freedom if you can't stomach risk. When asked about the Steve Jobs and Elon Musk signal-to-noise ratio, Kevin responds by saying, legendary CEOs operate differently. Jobs taught him this key fact. 80% of your time should be spent on 3 to 5 critical tasks each day. Everything else is just noise. Jobs didn't care what people wanted. He told them what they wanted. It was all signal, he says. In your 9 to 5 or side hustle, your inbox, socials, and distractions are the noise. Cut it. Focus on your 3 non-negotiables per day. You don't need to be Steve Jobs, but you do need to act like your goals are urgent. Kevin also mentioned that he noticed the women-led startups in his portfolio hit targets 90% of the time, compared to around 60% for men. Women set realistic goals. They listen more. That's why their teams stay, he says. Overpromising is seductive, but it breaks teams. Whether you're running a business or a relationship, set targets you can actually hit. People don't leave when they feel momentum. On the subject of listening equals power, one female CEO told Kevin, "You talk too much." That shifted how he approached negotiations. Silence became his secret weapon. There's something happening in silence, and sometimes people blurt out the truth, Kevin says. Try this in your own life. Sit in silence longer than usual in an argument or a job interview. People rush to fill awkward gaps, and in doing so, they reveal everything. Kevin uses this to judge entrepreneurs on Shark Tank before they say a single word, as it reveals aura, presence, how they carry themselves. Clarity. Can they explain the idea in 90 seconds? Execution. Do they know their numbers? If you don't know your numbers, I'll take you behind the barn and shoot you, Kevin says. Knowing your numbers isn't just for business, it's life. Know your income, expenses, habits, time use. If you're flying blind, you're wasting your chance. On the topic marriage is a business, Kevin called marriage your biggest financial decision. A quote from Kevin. The first child in your marriage is money. It sits at the table with you every day. It's wild but true. Financial compatibility breaks or builds most relationships. You don't need to be rich, but you do need to be aligned. Third date, talk about money goals. When touching on the wealth rule from his mum, he says she invested 20% of her pay, no more than 5% in any one stock, 20% per sector, and never touched the principal for 55 years. When she passed, The portfolio outperformed most hedge funds. She never made a bet. Just follow the rules, Kevin says. If you make £2,000 per month, stash £400. Put it in ETS, not junk. Don't chase flashy bets. Boring builds wealth. In regards to buying a house if you're single, O'Leary's advice flips the script. If you're single and want to make money, don't buy a house. Wait until you're starting a family. Well, we're told to rush into mortgages, but dead weight costs freedom. Until you're settled, consider renting and stacking liquid assets. Owning bricks doesn't always mean building wealth. Asked if discipline is the wealth multiplier, he responds by saying, it's not about income, it's about decisions. Wealth comes down to one word. Discipline, he says. Discipline is saying no to the £28 lunch, to the jacket on sale, to flexing on IG. Every no builds your future, while every yes to instant pleasure delays it. Which one of Kevin's gems hit hardest? And be honest, do you think you're more likely to scrape the gum or own the store? Drop your take in the comments and keep studying.